All right. Getting the hang of this. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Hold on, put on. It's kind of dark in here, but that's okay. Okay, you guys are seeing me set up just to give you a snapshot. It is 2 minutes till 1 in the morning. And I'm coming on here now because I have some things really cross my spirit and felt like sharing. So just bear with me. And let me get this right. All right. I'm going to, let me fix this real quick. All right, so that it's not a distraction because it'll be a reverb effect, and I don't want that. So, how is everybody doing? Doing all right? We are halfway through your week. You've been navigating through the negativity, trying to be the best you that you know how. Because guess what? No one's gonna do your work. Oh no, no they're not. If anything, they are going to be your distraction. They are going to be covert about watching you not achieve your goals to only have something to talk about tomorrow in front of the water cooler or hang out in the break room. Because I've learned, especially in these last 5 years, that you could set out to be the best person you strive to be, and it will still not be good enough. But see, I also know this. You have some people that feel that they have to have a crusade, so to speak. If things are too quiet, then they get panicky. Oh yes, they do. And what you don't realize is you are witnessing someone that is silently in turmoil. You know who I'm talking about. You're talking about that person, you ain't even stepped 1 foot in your job, and already they done sucked all the energy out of your work center. It's so bad that when these people come around, you're saying to yourself, I wish they had taken a sick day. I know I'm talking to someone. There's a reason why you see what you see, y'all. Do you not see the nuances that are being played out in your life? These are the things that are going to make the you that you're going to be destined to become. This is your wisdom. These are all founded by your insight, the things that go on day to day. If you are looking at your life as blah, there's some discontent, uneventful, or just downright, I'm just here, Gerald. That is a direct correlation that you are not living your life. You are living to other people's standards. I know I'm talking to someone, but that's okay. Because, see, the one thing that I believe for myself, I'm speaking for myself, Gerald Davis, as I've done all the other videos, all 422 of them. My position has always been founded by my Lord Jesus Christ. And I know that He is the number one example of what unconditional love is. I ain't got to tell y'all that. Some of y'all right now know I'm talking to you because you know that you should not be alive today. You know that where you once were, there was some bars with your name on it, but you got favor and that was not your path. There's some of you right now that were in a place that you know from the outside it looked like paradise until you closed that door and then your jail sentence began. I know I'm talking to someone, but what I do know is this: ain't nobody gonna live your life but you. And every day that you decide not to claim your purpose, and let me get this straight. I understand there's some of us, I was there. You might not know what your purpose is. That's nothing but another word or descriptive word of your calling, why you actually are here. That may be the reason why you feel unfulfilled. Maybe that may be the reason why things seem mundane, because you're not being spiritually challenged. There's a reason for everything that you see, even the things you don't even hear. Because let me tell you something, y'all. If you think 1 second that God is not real, and you're entitled to, but I feel sorry for you. I say that because I was never a person that did not believe God did not exist. Oh, I believed He exists. I just didn't have a connection. That might be you. And with that, for some reason, you feel a certain kind of way, and you're that close from really basically saying, "Hey, Gerald, sometimes I feel like I'm not myself, and sometimes I do things I don't understand that I've done. I kind of black out." No, what's really going on is your denial is so strong that you have a stronghold within you that causes you to block the things that you know that you shouldn't be doing. I know I'm talking to someone. I know there's somebody right now, you have the audacity to be ashamed. Yeah, that's right. You have the audacity to be ashamed because at this moment in your life, you have taken on the title of mother or father. But the reality is, you ain't ready for it because you don't know who you are. And it's gotten you terrified because you've seen the examples of what not to do. But God shows you favor and said, you know what? I'm about to turn these lemons into lemonade and it's going to be sweet. But I need you to connect to me. I need you to go within yourself. I need you to fall back in love with you. I know I'm talking to somebody. When you going to stop listening to those naysayers? Yeah, you, you, you got so much potential, but you listen to people that all they want to do is to manipulate you. And it pisses you off because you've been in tune with your voice. That's your discernment. And you have conversations with yourself throughout the day. But the conversation that you need, you're like that. And they continue to take advantage of you. You know why they're taking advantage of you? Because you allow it. So when you're going to be tired, you're tired of people just coming around, having access to your body, calling you out of your name, and skeet skeet, they're gone. You can change that when you decide to see your worth. If you only knew how beautiful you were in the inside, if you only knew who you're going to become in the future, you would stop dead in your tracks now. So what you're afraid of? I think deep down inside, you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid that if you do something that you cannot see but only feel, you have no control. So that tells me you have control issues. I know I'm talking to someone. My queens, you know I love you. That's why I talk to you. You know what? One of the reasons why I started putting these videos out. One, because it was revealed to me in a dream. I realized that this was going to be my purpose because the man that I'm destined to be in the future will be Dr. Gerald Davis, clinical psychologist. And I believe that goes all the way back as a little boy, that my life had a purpose and it had something to do with the world. And I didn't understand why. I can't tell you how many days I cried because I was afraid. But as I got older, I made mistakes too. There was a many a time I scraped my knee. There was a many a time that I literally had to pick my mouth up, open my ears, and even at times had to go find my heart because it had been ripped out by someone who did not see my worth. But you know what? I never compromised myself. I never surrendered the fact that my dreams would one day blossom. That's why I keep saying you got to plant those seeds because those seeds have your dreams. So why don't you think you don't have to do work? There are going to be a million and one naysayers out there that are going to try to sway you from your path. You got to be able to navigate through that. You need to listen to that little boy and little girl inside you. Stop listening to your people in the cheap seats. You might realize those are the ones that don't want to see you fly. But, you know, I try to stay abreast to what is being put out there in the mass media, and I listen, I discern, and I pray. I stay prayed up, y'all. I always start my day and end my day the same way because when I watch the sunrise, I give thanks. When I watch the sunset, I give thanks. And you know what else I do? I pray for each and every one of y'all. I pray for that person that is shedding those tears and they don't understand why their life is looking the way it is, that they have peace of mind. I pray for that person that knows they've done dirt and don't have the courage to atone for it, that they ground their feet and go within. Because guess what? Until you do, your blessings don't get revealed. Your prayers are not heard. Because guess what? That is spiritual energy that comes from you going out. That's why I convey this. Your words have power, y'all. They do, on a spiritual nature. That's why you must govern what comes out of your mouth. You have to be conscious of what you put inside your mind. Here's a case in point. There's somebody right here listening to this video right now. And there was somebody very close to you. And for whatever reason, pride, ego, communication broke down. And you said to yourself, you started having a conversation within yourself, which really was not you. That's actually an influence of a demon. Yeah, because you got demons around you. And it popped in your head. You said, I just wish I didn't have nothing to do with them. And then all of a sudden, they were gone. And you were shook. You didn't understand why. Because you spoke that into existence. That's one of the elements of manifestation, y'all. And let's be clear about this. The way society is now, it is very obvious we are in the last days. We are the beacon to the world. Everybody looks at what's going on in the United States. They take note. They take from our inspiration. I ain't got to tell you that. You don't believe me? Those who got cable, or I have files. Just go to an international channel and look at their videos, their music videos, or their media. Where do you think they got the inspiration from? Even to the way that they're actually packaged. Because they look to the West, they look to us. But what comes out their mouth, look at their actions. That's not by coincidence, by a long shot. So, as I was coming home tonight, I spent a lot of time, y'all, in thought. And I imagine you do too. The statement that hit my heart was, people are people. And I was surprised that just hit me. And I was like, why am I thinking about that? And as I was making my way home, it dawned on me. See, y'all, I know there's some of y'all may have pondered this and you say, well, there may be somebody that has been a challenge to you. It may be your family member. It may be someone that you lean on for in confidence, or just someone that you interact with. May it be business or in your personal life. And no matter what you do, you can't get on the same page with these people. And you're frustrated. And for the life of you, you wish that you could find common ground. But you know the truth. The truth is, you guys are divided. Just like that proverbial yin yang symbol. One is light, one is dark. And it made me think, You know, there are people born on this planet that are not supposed to live positively. That's why they're here. And then there are those who are supposed to walk in the light. Haven't you noticed the correlations that anytime that you try to better yourself, you always have someone that is trying to convince you not to? The reason for that is it's part of their purpose, it's part of their walk. But if you're not grounded, if you do not know who you are, how are you going to know where you're going? How are you going to be able to see what needs to be seen? Because it's hidden in plain sight. You may hear this word thrown around, but I came in contact with this term about almost 4 years ago, almost in the beginning of my spiritual walk. Began my spiritual walk October 18, 2011. And I told y'all, at that time, I was very vulnerable emotionally. I was broken. But the one thing I did not do is I did not give up my mind. I always had the fortitude that no matter what was revealed, no matter how many times I may have fallen, Gerald's gonna get up. And with that, I'm gonna stand. And as I stand, I'm gonna reflect. And as I reflect, I'm gonna prepare. And as I prepare, I'm gonna take that first step. And guess what? Whatever's behind me is behind me. But see, I've heard people uh, talk in the astrological uh, field. So, well, you're a Pisces. Yes, I am. And you guys have big hearts, but are very naive to the ways of man. I didn't understand that. But when I look back at my life, I saw a lot of the things that I willfully attracted. And see, one thing I've learned about being born on the third month on the seventh day is the fact that I've always had an innate ability to see the good in everybody. But guess what? We have free will. So you got the best intentions, but your actions can be totally contradictory. And that would just perplex me. That's why you see the frosting here and here, because I realized that there were things and people that I cared about more than they cared about themselves. But little did I realize that God had something better. I know I'm talking to somebody. You want nothing more than to bring peace to your house. I know I'm talking to someone. Every time you put forth effort, it's like picking up a bucket of water and moving it. And every time you put it down, there's somebody comes along and kicks it over. And you turn around and go right back to fill up that pail to put it right back. You know why you're doing that? It's because you don't know your voice. You don't know that word no. Let me tell you something about that word no. Because see, a lot of times people think when a person says no, it has the connection of the word forever connected to it. And that's far from it. When you use the word no, You're not saying that's the end all be all. You're saying that what you're presenting to me is not of the standard that I'm willing to receive. So I got clarity on that. Give me 1 second, y'all. What you don't know is I just made me some coffee. Can you give me about 10 seconds? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. You know Joe gotta have his coffee. You know I do. I love my bean. I do. I started drinking coffee when I was in the Air Force when I served, and I had the pleasure of spending nearly 10 years in Germany. So I did a lot of traveling in Europe, and I got to be exposed to how they made their coffee and the countries over there. Stuck with me. Now, before I go forth, I wanna show you something. You see this, and you see this, right? I'm showing you this for two reasons. Number one, I'm about to light both of them because they're spiritually blessed. Everybody knows about myrrh, and everybody should know about sage. And I'm burning both of these for you for two reasons. I'm going to put these on the other side of my coffee table. And if you have the pleasure to do this, if you have a Whole Foods store, or you maybe have a holistic place, if you don't want to go the candle route, get you some white sage. There you go. Some white sage and some cedar, which I have both. I got mine every year. I make a pilgrimage uh, to the mountains. I like going down to the Smoky Mountains because it's 6 hours away from Virginia Beach. But you know, every year I go down there, I pray, and I reconnect to nature. I also have I got this imported from Japan. This is Japanese cedar. Now, the reason why I'm showing you all these things is for your home. If you have any negative energy in your life right now and it's around your home, um, you burn you burn that. Preferably if you can get your hands on the organic white sage itself, the cedar itself. Make sure the cedar is dry and you burn it. You burn it around your home. You burn it and you let it smoke. And you do it around your doors and every room. Now, white sage has a distinct odor to it, but it dissipates very easy. The reason why I'm telling you to do this is because if there is any uh, demonic energy or toxic energy, any negative energy, it'll drive it out. And it also will expose it. That's how you cleanse where you live. So you may be, I got this feeling right now somebody's having problems with their dreams. You're having some really messed up nightmares and it's got you shook and it's to the point you don't even want to go to sleep unless you're medicated to some degree. It's because that's a spiritual attack. And you may be saying, well, how is that possible, Joe? I don't interact. I'm not out there like that. Um, you see, you're in transition right now, and all things of the darkness like the light. In other words, the person that you once were, yeah, that person, that's who they want you to be. And they know that you're trying to better your life. So you start seeing problems. But that's something I've also noticed too. When you pray, you atone, and you forgive yourself, you'll have the clarity that you need inside. So with that, guess what? You done pissed the devil off big time. And if there's somebody that lives with you or has access to where you are on a regular basis, like I said, you'll see it because they're going to start acting a certain kind. They're going to start acting out of character, and and that'll let you know that they've got a demon connected to them. They got some negative energy. Here's another way you'll know if you have pets, children, like babies, toddlers, you know, and pets. They're innocent by nature, so they are quick to pick up negative vibes. Prime example for those parents that have toddlers. Think about that time that you had somebody come over and all of a sudden your child started getting upset or didn't want to be around. It's because that person has a negative spirit. Your pet may be acting a certain way around it. That they have the ability to see that person's spiritual aura. They can tell. And maybe there may be something that they're thinking about, or there's a hidden agenda that you know nothing about. Well, guess what? Because your pet is loyal to you, they're going to let you know. Don't blow it off. Trust me when I tell you that. But I burn these calendars for you because you're about to enter in another phase of your life. You're going to start taking accountability for it. Now, I'm not trying to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm just trying to stress the importance because you do dream, right? Don't you have dreams? Well, how much are they worth to you? They should be priceless. So guess what? You have people that want to rob you of that. Can't let that go down. When I went to make my coffee, two things were put on my spirit, and just now a third, and I'm gonna run it just as they came. There's somebody right now, you having problems with your daughter. You see a major behavioral shift, and your your instinct is telling you one thing, but you can't put your finger on it. I'm gonna tell you this. You have every right to feel the way you do because you're correct, and the influence is her friends. But what you might not be aware of, there is someone in her life that you know nothing about that is trying to get her to stray. With that being said, don't be her friend, be her parent. See what she's doing because you may discover something that will is you might have to pull a seat up for, but you'll be grateful that you caught it now. There's somebody having issues with their son. It could be it, or they're like a son to you. They spend a lot of time with you. You may be mentoring them, and you see the potential in them. But you also notice that their attention span is short. It's been kind of short lately. And you try to blame it on, well, it's them freaking video game. But you don't want to act like you are what we call micromanaging. They're having a identity crisis. You need to talk to them. But I got this feeling your interpretation of talking to them is yelling. So they turn and tune you out. You started to see little subtleties about them that makes the hair in the back of your neck stand up because you feel slighted. You have every right to feel that way because they're rebelling. They're mad at you because of how you came at them last time. But here's the kicker. You might not know it, but you're showing favoritism with the other ones. And they feel like they are the scapegoat. It's like the only time you talk to them, there's something negative. When's the last time you actually spent some quality time? Take this time to get to know who they are because I got this feeling they may be in their preteens or they may be at, I hear 16. But in your eyes, you see the 8-year-old. You got to respect that they are a teenager and, you need to keep that communication line open. Because if you don't, they're going to, the streets are going to be there. And you know that because every time they turn around, they tell you they want to hang with a certain somebody. And you already know that they ain't up to no good. Now, there's a king. You're terrified because you stumbled onto something that had you suspicious, and now your suspicions are correct. And you're trying to figure out how you are going to address it, but you're weighing what you're going to lose. I know I'm talking to someone. Let me tell you something. First of all, love yourself first. Secondly, if you are only there because of the materialism of what is found there, you don't belong to be there. Third, you can't make anybody do what they don't want to do. So stop scratching your head. You're not crazy. I would highly recommend, if you are true, you have to ask yourself, is this where I want to be? And if so, are you going to invest? Because I have this feeling that this person is doing this, they're acting out, and somebody's in their ear and they trying to pull them away. So your suspicions are correct. Stop saying that you love someone and show it. But here's the kicker. Deep down inside, no one showed you. So you thinking that, well, if I go off of the examples that came before me, I should be fine. You can't do that, because guess what? They were working with what they had, and that's not you. If you see this person as, if this person is worth that name to be changed, then claim your queen and get your foundation back. If that is not what you can do, then do the responsible thing and the respectful thing and get out of the way. Because if you do that, you don't compromise your dignity. You don't compromise your self-respect. You do not slight your self-worth. And trust me when I tell you this, it's easy to be the side guy or the side girl. I don't even like using those derogatory terms because it's such demeaning. But here's a funny thing about it. You can't have it both ways, because you got somebody in your ear and you say to yourself every day, I can talk to her. She gets me. She actually makes me smile. But my heart is with her. And I like how she looks. And she has potential. But we got problems. No, y'all don't have problems. Y'all don't want to grow up, and you're playing house. And how can you be a king of your castle if you ain't claimed it? I know I'm talking to someone. It's okay to walk away in dignity than to spend one day in pain. Your heart is not for sale, nor should be your body. Now, on to the next one. So, as I was driving home tonight, and I had that phrase, people are people, jump in my heart, and as I'm making my way down the highway, I was like, you would think people would want to have a fruitful life, make their dreams a reality, solidify their legacy, and live in peace. But the fact of the matter is, because the way you have 50% of people, like right now, there are people that don't want to invest in their life, but they don't want you to. They're caught up on what the Joneses are doing, not worried about what they need to be doing, and have the nerve to get mad at you because you want to grow. See, these people have already made a conscious decision to live by society standards, not their own. And these people are the ones that you also see a lot of the time that are morally challenged. That's why you hear this all the time, Queen. You always hear your girlfriend saying, when is my night gonna come? Why would you want a knight when you deserve a king? Or she's my princess. Sure, but she'll never get that ring. Because let me tell you something. Queens, society will never tell you this, but society loves you when you're most distracted. Because you do two things. One, you're not grounded. And when you're not grounded, you spend money. And they like to keep you just as confused as you can be. Why? Because you're not going to keep track of your paper. So why do you think they put that stuff out there on the TV? I'm gonna prove my point right now. How many Lucius and Cookies have you seen walking around? How many Stevie J's and Jocelyn's have you seen walking around? Or Beyonce's or Rihanna's or whoever the flavor of the month is. But guess what? They're living their lives and they making their money. Who's living yours? I'm just saying. So, my queens, when you're ready to see the other side of your life, you'll invest in it. And when you consciously invest in it, guess what happens? He's going to show you favor, and the man of your dreams will come into your life, or the woman of your dreams will come into your life. And you will both have a testimony. You can't have a testimony if you have not taken accountability for where you are. You can't have a testimony if you have not forgiven yourself. You can't have a testimony if you didn't get the wisdom of the experience. That's why so many times people repeat the same thing over and over again. How many tears you gotta cry, Queen, before you stop allowing him to come over? He don't even know your middle name, but he knows your secret garden. And what is the trade-off? Because he gives you a trinket, but he's quick to blow your back out, but he won't take a walk with you. What's wrong with that? Now, we are what we attract, y'all. And let me tell you what, the devil's work is not done. And it's sad because there are going to be people that you're going to know they're not going to be able to see tomorrow. They're not going to walk in their promise. They're not going to know their purpose. I ain't got to remind you. Turn on the TV. It play out in a community near you every day. You would think we would get it by now. But we've gotten so PC now that to use your voice, it seems like it's shunned. To do the right thing, it is a mockery. Well, last time I checked, your life is priceless. Last time I checked, you deserve to be loved. Last time I checked, you deserve to walk in honor and grace. But you won't find that on TV. Because on TV, they want you to be the next stripper. On TV, they want you to be the next thug. On TV, they want you to be the laughing stock. On TV, they want to use you as an example of what not to do, as well as justify why their ignorance is around one more day. That's not your walk, y'all. It's not. And that's just how I feel. And I don't expect people to agree with it. I may have people that I might as well say goodbye to you now because some of you are going to be pissed off and leave. But guess what? If it spawns for you to 1 second ponder where you are right now, I've done it. Because all I've ever wanted to do was make humanity better. It just takes one. It just takes one. But if you listen to them, they want us to be sheep. If you listen to them, they don't want us to think anymore. That's why we have so much smart technology. Why? Because they don't want you to use that beautiful mind of yours. Mm-mm. And the funny thing about it, don't get it twisted. They watching everything you do, everything you say. Doesn't matter if you got a password on it. You don't own an internet provider. So guess what? When you say send, they might as well say receive. That's right, Queen. You wanna because your man got you smitten and say, okay, I'm gonna send him a nice picture of me. Only he and I have. Well, you know what? Your business is sitting on a server because guess what? The whole selfie thing was for facial recognition. And guess what? Some of y'all, they don't need their face, need your face. Because they got you from head to toe. And what you did behind last night, behind closed doors, you think people don't see it? Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. We all make mistakes. All I'm trying to say is this: time waits for nobody. And if you spend it 1 day in an environment that does not spawn growth, why are you there? Huh? Why are you there? Why are you willfully dumbing down, watering down your life so you can be with him? Guess what? He ain't sticking around. The moment that you decide to claim you, he out of there. You know why? Because he shouldn't have never been there to begin with. So, Kings, I send peace and love to you. I told you this almost a year ago. What makes you a man is defined by that last name, not what's found between your legs, not what's found in your pockets. But guess what? We are what we attract, right? So you can't get mad at her when she doing this. You can't get mad at her because she got both. You can't get mad at someone for doing something they wanted to do to begin with. It's your responsibility how you react to it. You think there's not do you realize how many thousands and thousands of people are in jail because of things they shouldn't have done? Because of they weren't emotionally grounded. They acted out of impulse. And guess what? Who wins? That devil does. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to shut my mouth. This year is going to be that year that all your secrets, all your questions, anything that you have pondered, anything that you have forgotten, anything you tried to hide, is coming out. It's coming out. And I'm not trying to paranoid you, get you paranoid. This is spiritual. And it's because that's what clarity's all about. Because I know some of y'all have been deceived. Some of y'all being deceived right now. Some of y'all are in relationships you shouldn't be in because you don't love that person. You just cohabitate with that person and you have made a willful choice, but you're surprised why you keep going through these blocks because those blocks are to let you know you shouldn't have been there. Okay, I'm gonna shut my mouth. There's a king on here. You know why you got that burden on your heart right now? You know why your sleep patterns are like that right now? Because you know you've been holding a secret. Why didn't you tell her that you have a child? I know I'm talking to somebody. Why are you doing a disservice to your child so you can be with her? Don't you realize by you doing a disservice to your child, you're doing a disservice to you because that child is of you. And you're forging a generational curse that's going to play out in your child's life until you reset it. Now remember, if she loves you like she says she does, shouldn't she love everything about you? And you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, we too young though. I just pay my support. I don't rock the boat. She cool and everything. No, she ain't cool because she don't have you. And guess what? And now, if she can't support what you're doing, then she got to see herself out of your life. Because I got this feeling you're a good dude, but you juggling. You juggling. You so juggling. And you're wondering why you got that. You're losing your hair. I know I'm talking to somebody. You keep telling your boys, man, I need to stop wearing these ball caps because I'm getting thin back here. No, you're getting thin back here because you're not taking care of your health. You're getting, you're seeing it in, listen, y'all, you could tell anything about a person by looking them in their face. The eyes are the window to your soul. Just look at the actions. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Let your discernment be your guide, and God will reveal it. He will reveal all that you need to know. But you got to trust Him. But you got to trust yourself. So, once again, what I'm saying is if you cannot be vulnerable to you, why you think your life is reflecting it back? If you can't be your own best friend, what do you expect your circle gonna be? Like-mindedness attracts like-mindedness. There is no, that's spiritual. I know there's somebody right now, you miserable. You've been living a lie. And you think, well, I'm grown now because I got children. They can't tell me nothing. No, you're not. You're a child trying to raise a child. And your pride and your ego wrote a check that your behind cannot cash because you know you're not ready. And the thing about it is, you wasn't raised that way. And what's so amazing about it, you have a resource of people that unconditionally love you. I got a feeling right now, somebody's grandmother, she ain't here, but she's used to talk to you sitting on that step. And she told you, I don't want you to go through what I went through. I made the sacrifices so you didn't. Who's that going to? She wants you to get it together. Because what you don't realize is you are going to be the matriarch of your family. I ain't got to tell you that. Everybody rallies to you when they have questions, when they have concerns. They always turn to you. And you kind of feel a certain kind of way because you're saying, well, when am I going to have my time? What about me? And you hurt. Let me tell you something. Don't get caught up in that. Ain't nothing but a trick the devil is using to get you to act out of pocket. You're going to have your family fall in place in the intended time. But you got to invest in you. You got to. Y'all, we are in the last days. We are in that season. No, I'm not talking about doomsday, like, oh, the meteor. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that spiritually. I ain't got to tell you that. Somebody right now, you get a certain feeling when you drive your car. You feel like when you get in your car, you're not by you feel like you're not alone. You're right, because you're not. You're not. You got angels and spirit guides there waiting to protect you. And you know that. But you've been listening to that voice. Yeah, that one. And you say to yourself, but that's fun. Yeah, I'm kicking up dust. People, people kind of distant, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing me. You like the excitement of new faces, but you ain't thinking about your health. Haven't you heard of the term sleeping with the enemy? There's more to that than a movie. And if you still continue going down that path, there's somebody that you just met is gonna put you on another one, and you ain't gonna like it because you ain't gonna be able to get away from him. You already know that because they've already tried to strong arm you once, but they turned around and sugarcoated it when they bought you some stuff. We cool though. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they saying. We cool though, right? I know you need time. You need time. I know that's going to somebody. You need to get the hell away from that person because that person has an agenda. They didn't just up and show up one day out of the blue. They've been checking you out for a minute. I'd love to hear from you guys. I know you're halfway through your week, but I had a feeling that somebody was going through something right now and they needed validation. Is this more validation for you now? Hmm? Well, on a real, some of y'all know that y'all been dealing with your depression for years now. And you've done a good job trying to hide it. You say, well, that's how I unwind, Gerald. What's wrong? Everybody do it now, but you ain't everybody. Your friends that you hang with, they only hang around with you because you the party guy. And what I mean by that, you're the one that's contributing. So I'll get you next week. I know that I'm talking to someone. I got a queen out there right now. She always in the club now. Everybody seem to know your name. And they got a nickname for you too. But you don't care. Because your mindset is, if they can do it, I can do it too. But guess what? They not going to pay the price. You going to pay. I'm just saying, that's what free will is all about. And if you don't make it a point important for you, you can't expect what's attracted to you to do the same. Don't work that way. Energy out is energy returned. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. I really do. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. If you're struggling, why won't you ask for help? If you need someone to talk to, why won't you seek it? You've been trying to do it on your own and you keep doing this. You've had so much loss and disappointment, and you are slowly but surely turning numb. What is it going to take? A coffin? That shouldn't be. Lastly, I'm going to put this out because I know somebody needs this. And you guys might not realize this, but I'm really a private person. And, I place God first in everything I do. So I'm going to end it with a prayer. Heavenly Father, I call upon you at this time and I give praise to the Most High. Once again, you woke us up to see the sun rise. You walked with us through our day. You had your angels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Muriel, Fruzel, Shemiel, and Metatron, and all the other archangels and spirit guides act in your behalf to watch over us, to keep us safe from the things that we could not see, from the things that were plotted against us, from the things that I know there's someone right now that has been dealing with sleep insomnia. And the only way that they can find sleep, they have to medicate, they have to numb themselves, only for a temporary period of time. Lastly, Father, this prayer also goes out to that person that's been struggling in silence, them dealing with their depression, as well as I know there's been many that's been struggling with their addictions, maybe chemical, maybe emotional, maybe sexual. I ask, Father, whatever stronghold that is going on, whatever demonic presence that's trying to break this person's spirit, that you allow your angels to come in and cut down that stronghold, to remove those blocks and lift that burden from that heart. I know that you can do it, Father, because you've done it for me. And I'm asking in their behalf, Father, because they deserve to be happy. They deserve their purpose to be revealed. They deserve to have the life that their dreams are made of. All things are through you, Father. And you said, if we ask, that you will supply. Lastly, Father, I send this prayer out to that person that may have been contemplating suicide. Yes, they've made a good job at fooling everybody. But every time they look in the mirror, that mask has one more crack. And their heart is heavy. And they just need some validation that you are there, Father. Let this be the week that you reveal to them in your special way. Because I know you are the custom tailored God. So that they know it came from you. In your name I pray, Father. I say amen, amen, amen. May you have dominion on earth as you continue to do in heaven. I thank you. I hope that this is the week that your breakthroughs start to manifest. And I hope that you take that first step. It might not, you might not be in the place of seeing the end of the tunnel, but you standing in front of it. And just know, when you put that that first foot forward, you're making strides. You're making progression. And guess what? It's steps by some of you need to have that conversation with God. Some of you need to forgive yourselves. It's time to forgive yourself. Do you actually think you would have done the things you did if you actually knew who you were? Give yourself permission. And of course, forgive those people who have wronged you. Yeah, you have to. Because those are the people that are holding you back. Because you have a soul tie. You're connected to them. Yeah, I hear you. You're waiting on your closure, aren't you? Aren't you, king? Aren't you, queen? Your heart hurts because you're saying, if I just had that one moment just to say what I need to say, just to get that understanding. Well, just know this. They're not obligated to give you anything, but you are obligated to be happy. But if it's divinely meant, guess what? Anything that's ordained by God can't stand in the way, but you are required to be prepared when it comes. Be best, y'all. Have a great week. Bye.